So, disclaimer to start off with, before anything else. If you're watching this around about the time that it's being uploaded and my video count is somewhere over 300, that's actually a glitch. I counted each and every video I had. This is actually video number 299, so the next video will be my 300 video special, which... not really much spoilers there. It's going to be these guys. They're just sort of there. And it's a thing. So, anyways, just got those. I just got back from locals. I went 4-1, one game away from taking the whole tournament. I got second though. Easily the best tournament I've ever participated in, or at least the best tournament like sort of record I've managed to pull out. Not because of the second place, but because I have had a second place before. But that second place I got with 4 rounds. This one was 5. Plus I had pretty much heavy hitting matchups right throughout the tournament, which really put the smile on my face, having knocked over a whole bunch of those. So, anyways, round 1 I played Dragunities. Basically I pretty much had the wood on all of his plays. I had Chain to stop the Dukes, I had Compulse to stop the Mislatane, and then I basically pretty much just sort of whittled his back row away and then just hit out and smashed him. And I basically just sort of like had the play, just sort of attacked, once turn just sort of came around and just sort of attacked, and then I'm just like, alright, well, mass change, boom, that's game 1 done and dusted. Game 2, he overextended way too much. He gave me a +7 off of a max C. And then from there, I basically just went herp and did that 2-0. Round 2, I played against Scraps. I'd played Scraps only once before, and I'd lost that in sudden death, back when I was playing Dino Rabbit, and that's actually when I got my second place finish. So, maybe if I ever play Scraps again, I'll get second place. Yay. Who knows. But, yeah, game 1, I basically just maintained my field presence, and basically... this is pretty much a theme throughout the entire course of the tournament. I pretty much sat back a bit and observed my opponent's play, and then from there I would make the decision as to what I was going to hit. Game 1 of this was a good example of it, because he had both Scrap Dragon and Scrap Twin. He attacked with the Scrap Twin, I deprisoned it, and then with the Scrap Dragon I cut his attack in half with Great Tornado, and then just steamrolled it, and then from there I pretty much had all of it. I had pretty much had his measure from that. Game 2, he started really well. He prohibitioned off my alias, and he then defissured, which disrupts mass change plays, because the mass change states that it has to send the hero to the graveyard, so that screws that bit up. Yeah, I pretty much had the flood of smash up going, couldn't break it, and then he broke it for me by blowing his defissure up with the Scrap Dragon, and then from there it just went downhill for him. So I did that 2-0, which was pretty good. I do not believe the actual person who played the Scraps, I don't think I'd ever beaten him before, because I think he played 5-fist in one other matchup I had against him, and he beat me there. So round 3 I played Prophecies. This to date, at this point was the biggest fear I had so far. Game 1, I pretty much sat back again, observed the extension that my opponent was doing. I managed to exhaust both of his towers. I basically managed to exhaust him of all of his resources, and then just sort of smashed him. Game 2, I had early advantage because I went Cursed Seal on his secrets, so he was sealed off from doing that. But he managed to make a comeback there and take that game, putting us 1-1 going to round 3. And game 3 we just finished just before time was called, and I pretty much didn't have a whole lot of big beat sticks, but I just managed to maintain a whole bunch of beating down with Alias and Ocean, and then I just sort of came out with the win by dropping a Miracle Play, and he had no response. He had full back row, but he had no response to my attacks. So got a win against Prophecy, which is really good. Round 4, I played against Fire Fists, which have had the wood on me a little bit. This time around, I basically went Alias into the bear, Alias into the gorilla, and he went with the horn. Actually, no, what was a bear? Because he went horn, and then he went bear to set the 10 key. Then, at that point, after he got the draw, at that point I mask changed my Bowlman into Acid, nuked his back row, and then from there he was pretty much screwed. And then I found out at the end of that game, the card that he topped off of the horn draw was a warning, and that would have won him the first game had he been able to get that off against mask change. But aside from that, it was nothing. Game 2, he opened really well. He went Necro Valley, and I was sort of bogged down a little bit by that because I tried to get a miracle play with both my monsters on the board to bypass it, but I couldn't get but I couldn't get them on the board. And then I basically just topped a mask change, and then bang, swept his back row once again, and then just proceeded to roll over him there. Round 5, I got Mermails. I was pretty confident because I had a pretty decent Mermail matchup. This here was, I felt like I felt that I had a bit of the wood on Mermails just in general because of that. Ironically though, I did not see Abyss Dweller at all throughout the tournament, not even against the Mermail matchup, when I probably should have gone for that setup. That was probably a misplay. I may look back on it and think, oh crap, I misplayed there, but it's fine. So yeah, game 1, I basically just kept beating him down, and then he just sort of went, I have a board, I have a big eye, I have your shining, and I couldn't top Super Poly. Didn't top Super Poly at all in the last 2 rounds, which sucked. But yeah, game 2, I pretty much just committed field presence and kept pushing at him, and just getting this shit off the board, and just basically just sitting back and letting him come to me. Once again, the same strategy as I've done throughout this whole tournament. I managed to get the win by finishing his last line of defense in the form of a title with a D prison. He couldn't get the search because he'd specialed it. And then we went to game 3, and then he opened the nuts. I opened the crap. It happens. So I got second place. Mermail player got first. I got $15 of store credit, which is pretty happy. I can get a couple of booster packs with that whenever I want. And with that done and dusted, that's pretty much it for the local report. Had to do second time I had to do it because I got interrupted just as I was finishing it off the first time, which annoyed the shit out of me, and my throat's being ripped to shreds. And I still have a 300 video special to do, which is this, plus the deck list for the M Heroes that I played today, because they've proven to be the best deck I've done so far. I've done with so far on the locals. So yeah, see you for Tinses.